a sigh before going into this one. Consumers will have to dig a little deeper into their pockets for the upcoming increase in bank fees. Again.
What if your pocket's shallow? You can't dig deep. Mercy.
Joining us this morning, always a pleasure to have him, economist Dr. Andre Houghton. Good morning, Doc. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, lovely ladies. I'm okay. Good morning to your listeners as well. Hope we're having a wonderful morning.
We are.
What's that?
I'm sweet this morning, man.
The bleaching was an asset there, Doc.
Is the sweetness before the reality hit we? Increase in bank fees?
Again,
did we just have an increase the other day?
Yeah, the idea is what we're witnessing now is changing prices of most products and services across the world. It's not just a domestic issue. However, the increases that we're seeing speaks to the more fundamental issue as to what's the purpose and what do we want to achieve as a country. Mm-hmm. Now, banks as financial institutions, and I've been doing some work on financial inclusion because I'm now writing a third book around that issue. They receive deposits and they're supposed to use these deposits to productive use. But what you realize is that with the fragility of the modern global economy at this time, transitioning out of the regular economic activity to moving to online types of activity, non-face-to-face interaction, non-face-to-face services, then some banks are having difficulty transitioning their profits from the regular day-to-day profits to now figuring a way how to place these funds into other instruments that can generate these revenues. And that is why they know in order to set a target for their profits, they have to now use these banking fees. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with these increases. I think that banks should find more clever ways to make profit because they have year free money that they can use in any way, shape, or form they can in order to retain profit. So I think that we need to get more clever. I think that the overall competition in the banking system needs to increase. I think that we need more alternatives to put our money. We need more avenues to invest our money. And I think that definitely now the country is in a particular juncture in its life where we have to stop thinking about how can we extract money from the economy. We have to now think about how can we pump more money into the economy, because money is the lifeblood. And when people save their monies with you and you keep, imagine somebody give you a gallon of water to keep for them. You keep withdrawing 2 ounces here, 2 ounces here, 2 ounces here, 2 ounces here. And when you look, the gallon is finished. The idea of the banking system is not to restrain the blood that is flowing through the economy, but help to multiply this.
Yeah. I was a little bit surprised because I know bank fees, in my opinion, just went up and everybody got a notice. If you had a loan, this is what it is now and this is how it should. What option do we have, though? Because the last time we were just informed, bank fees have gone up, despite Fitzjackson's best efforts not for it to be so. So what is the consumer's right? If somebody says, well, bank fees are going up, can we say, no, it's not going up and it don't move?
Yeah, in a competitive market, the consumer's right is choice. You always have a choice as to where you put your funds, what you use your funds to do. I mean, the government has made it mandatory for us to, if you have $1 million, you have to put it in the bank. You can have 999,000 at your house, which is $1 million, you have to put it in the bank. Okay. Now, the issue is now, how do we force this government to realize that average citizens like us need our money to grow and not for it to shrink? So if they make it mandatory for us to put our money somewhere, it should be mandatory for these people who have our money to use it in a prudent way, in a resourceful way, so that it can grow. And these are the things that speaks to the type of economy that Jamaica has. Jamaica operates in an economy where it's really a extractive economy. So we don't try to double up the pie or we don't try to triple the pie. We always looking at the pie itself to see, okay, this is the pie and this is the share that I want. Instead of looking at the resources, the flour, the dough, the apple, whatever that creates the pie, and said, we need more apples. We need more dough, we need more water, we need a bigger oven. So how do we create this? We need more farmers to plant more wheat. We need more farmers to plant more apples. And we take it from a developmental approach instead of taking it from an extractive approach. And this is one of the reasons why Jamaica and many other developing countries fail to grow, because we do not understand what to do with resources. And it's a very serious issue, because the resource issue is that when you talk about economic resources, you talk about land, labor, capital. But when you talk about real resources in this modern economy, it's really the finances. Where does the financial support goes? And that is the question. Many people know you can look at your money in the bank, you can buy bonds, right? Even though bond prices have been falling, and it's important, but the interest rate return on these bonds have been increasing, so you can fetch a higher rate of return. You can invest in different instruments with different financial institutions. What you do not want is to have all your money in a regular current account or deposit account, because those deposit accounts, banks feed on them. You want to put it in a more 3-month, 6-month type of investment instrument, where through that period of time, you can be able to gain instead of lose from having your money.
You know, what you're saying is important, because one of the things that you mentioned is financial inclusion. So banked and unbanked and including everybody to make your money work for you. And Harris was saying before we came to you that, you know, she feels like we need a huge financial literacy campaign for Jamaicans to understand exactly the kind of things that you're saying, so that we are a little bit more educated as to how we can move outside of the banks that exist and outside of the instruments that we're told and outside of your bank, your current account or your savings account, to know what the options are. Do you think that's something that we need to be looking at?
Of course, funny enough, you have said this. I've put this proposal together since January, and I'm just waiting for the summer now for us. The school is finishing this week, and we're going on an extensive community by community campaign. We're going on a high school campaign, a primary school campaign, and a college campaign. Because where we are now as a country, as young people, we need to realize that the world is moving forward. And if we don't understand how financial systems work, how money works, and if we do not put measures in place to include the marginalized into the financial system, then it will limit the amount of money that these banks have in their coffers, and they will always have to feed on your flesh of your money, which bank fees. You're following? So we have a comprehensive campaign, and I hope TVJ, when I send the letter to you Wednesday, you guys will see this as being important and support it, because it is something that the entire Jamaica will benefit from in a long-term fashion. And I think it's a part of my SAFE program that I've been conducting. You might see me doing some sports, that's the S. I've done some art and artistry. If you look at the painting in the background, those were painted at my Paint for Peace campaigns in Montego Bay. And we are now at the F, which is the financial literacy and education. You know, the E is for economics and enterprise development, which we've been doing as well. We've been supporting small businesses. Some of them we give them grants, others we provide advice as to how to keep a business afloat. So we've been trying, but we need fundamental corporate support. Alas, if we go to the banks to support this financial literacy campaign, we have to pitch it to them in a way where we all understand this. So it's a catch-22 that no, they themselves have to see benefit in including or in the regular Jamaican having a broader understanding of what money is and how it grows.
Which could include, not bypassing, but looking for competition.
We need more financial intermediation, more financial intermediaries. These banks, and let me speak to another pressing issue that has been.
This is the last issue. Are we wrapping that? Yes, we have to wrap.
The last issue.
So go ahead.
Last issue. So mobile money and the digital currency, what the overall things that we've been seeing. Now, ideally, What has been taking place in Africa is that mobile money has been enhancing financial inclusion of the rural area farmers, the marginalized, and so on, those people who don't have access to internet. So we said we need it in Jamaica. So we need to take a primitive approach, which is sending it through the text message, making people who live in rural St. Mary can have access and so on and so forth. But what we instead have done is to use an app-based mobile money that now excludes all these people. And it's not that the marketing, when they're marketing these new mobile monies in Jamaica, we go to Devon House, we go to Nightcraft Market, we go to all these uptown places, we go to all, and the market down at Charles Garden, where the people them genuinely need the financial inclusion. We don't remember about it. The market, Pernell Charles, where the people need, the rural people in St. Elizabeth who are farmers, who need financial inclusion. We don't work, we don't. So the aim is that everything Jamaica tries to do, we try to appeal to poshness and preppiness and prettiness and uptown, if you want to put it in that way. But the whole idea of financial inclusion and transitioning from regular cash to a mobile application is, for one, broaden financial base, and two, expand financial inclusion.
Bring everybody along. Everybody along.
Yeah. We are thinking about monitoring and uplifting the country. We tend to do things in the wrong way from the beginning, and it does not provide a solution. It creates more problems.
More problems.
And that is why we need good leadership in this country.
Okay, wow. So, you're going to second gear now, You're ready to start again, but we've got to go. Thank you, Doc. Always great to talk to you. Maybe you can come back and we can finish that discussion. Economist Dr. Andre Horton raising some valid points this morning. Coming up next, the Jamaica Association for the Deaf celebrating 85 years. We're back with that after this.